You all right there, bud?
I'm great.
I'm glad you're not doing something loud near the mic. Uh-huh. I can wait all day. What did you get?
What did we get?
Do we have to share these?
Yeah, we'll split them.
Oh, okay.
That was the whole point.
Oh, yeah. What did we get?
That's a Supergirl.
I'll take that one. Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Oh, no.
We just opened a Wooshi?
An Ushi. They're not called Uwushis.
They're like...
Yet.
They will.
Oh, no.
They're like, what do you call those little, like, things from the dollar stores and stuff like that? Like, or you know the things where you would put the coin in and then crank them and you get the little...
Yeah, they're like little, like
toys inside of the
yeah,
little, like, coin dispenser.
yeah, I think I also know the word.
Yeah, I don't know. They must have a name, but I don't...
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like
Those
little
fun dispensers.
Little, yeah, you know, a fun dispenser.
Yeah, where you get like stickers or
Can
little
I
toys.
have 3 fun?
Yeah. Well, they're little like DC figures that
That may or may not be like pencil toppers.
Yeah, I still don't know. Yeah, they must be.
Yeah.
But the doctor's wife, Mrs. DC, got them for us at the dollar store today.
Yeah, exactly.
And because she has the same sickness that I do, she got all of them.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Which I couldn't love her more for.
Easy.
Maybe I could.
I mean, I think you could try.
I've got a lot of love to give.
Well,
you're talking to the big hitter here.
Yeah, at least for a very short amount of time.
Yeah, last year for 3 months I could have.
Well, it's a good thing I can't picture it because I'm Mr. Imagination.
Mr. Imagination.
Of all the great jokes we've done on this show, that was the one that people actually responded to.
Yep. Yeah, because it hurt you.
Bunch of fucking monsters. God damn it.
Yeah, we got to start making those a Mr. Imagination shirts. That's the one thing I will
It's
do.
just a plain white t-shirt. It just in Times New Roman, it just says Mr. Imagination.
Fuck, that's a good idea. Fuck, that's just a good shirt.
That's a good shirt.
Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, shit, I might need to do that. I do like, and they just charge like an exorbitant amount of money for it.
Mr. Imagination.
$30 t-shirt. It's just fucking Mr. Imagination Times New Roman.
On a white shirt.
It's the fucking like press on.
Yeah. I like it.
Hell yeah. Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you.
Baby.
We're again, because Mr. Imagination's in charge of what episode themes we do.
No. You did this.
I had a great...
You were like, what if just any question? And I was like,
you
fine.
said the woke mind virus won't be
And I
invading
said,
this
fine.
podcast.
It is Epuary after all.
These certainly are episodes.
These are absolutely episodes.
I'm glad that you're here to provide episodes.
And again, just to reiterate,
Yeah.
Epuary is different from No Theme November.
I think that's fucking obvious.
No Theme November has no theme.
Do you think they're fucking idiots?
This is just themeless?
Yeah,
it's Epuary.
That's a completely different thing.
It's not no theme.
Yeah.
That's November.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy to mix those.
If anything, it's like cold cream and vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like frozen
that.
cream and
Yeah.
vanilla. Vanilla's a flavor.
Yeah.
It's not no flavor.
Yeah. It's all yeah. I got hung up on the temperature.
I figured you did because I said cold and not frozen.
And I was like, wait, but those are
Cold cream's just cold cream, not ice cream. Yes, I realized that.
What? I need to make a call.
There are some fridges I need to be concerned about.
Doc Miss 8, Cream Miss.
No, you can't.
Oh, no, sorry. We already decided it was Nut Miss.
No, we didn't.
It's Nut Miss.
It's not Nut Miss.
All the nut we can handle.
What does that mean?
We're gonna nut every episode.
I don't love that.
Yep.
I don't know. Who do you think I am?
Nut.
Maybe
right,
if I was like 15 again.
nut right in the mouth.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
have not decided. This
Dogmas
isn't like
8.
Dairy Dogmas
Hashtag
where we
nut
figured it out
miss.
really early and I fought it for all year, but this has not been decided. Much like the difference between No Theme November and Epuary.
Yes.
We have not figured it out
I
yet.
mean, it's obviously nut miss.
It's not nut miss. Someone
It's not nut miss.
It's
nut not.
It's not miss.
It's nut not miss.
It's not miss.
not miss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, they're like yeah, it's a bondage themed 12 episodes.
Yeah, what's that thing called with the we use the rope play?
Bondage.
No, but there's like an actual word for
Oh yeah, I can't remember the
yeah.
word for it. Yeah.
yeah,
Each episode will add one knot. We'll be more tied up.
or yeah, is it a
We're gonna
verbal
need a
knot?
third person because we can't tie ourselves up.
It's thrupplemas.
Oh no. Oh, it's cuckmas, isn't
Oh yeah, don't you mean? Did you mean post monocta?
it? Yeah, it's not prima nocta. It's post monocta. Also, I love the fallacy of that joke is that the prima is pre, like P-R-E,
Pre-married, yeah.
not P-R-I-M-A,
No,
like
no,
first.
it's post
Yeah,
monocta.
there's pre-monocta
And
and post-monocta.
post-monocta.
Yeah. Yeah, we just post monocta is the fancy name for cucking.
I fucked your wife during the procession.
After you were
it's
married.
mid monocta.
Oh no. It's the Ides of Nocta. It's
The 15th of this wedding.
yeah. Oh man. Hey, that's the fun epuary energy that we're bringing.
That's right.
Could you imagine if we tried to do this and there was a theme?
I don't know how I could even make a joke like that.
That's crazy.
It would be too specific.
It would be like that's not on theme.
Yeah, that would be insane.
The most important thing to us.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the thing that makes us be able to come up with episodes.
Yes. It makes us be able to do that.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You heard me.
Yeah. I'm Mr. Imagination.
I'm imaginative with the language because words mean nothing. It's just what you do with them.
I am a designer now.
Yeah, and I work for the newspaper.
I mean, what is
And you're a
happening?
designer now. I run words and you do design.
Topsy-turvy. Everything is topsy-turvy.
Cats and dogs living together.
Yeah, maybe this is the end times.
Could be. Only one way to find out. Start with the questions on Facebook.
Go to the face of the book. Go to the Facebook.
First coming from Gary Anchetta, who asks, you are given the editorial reins of the DCU, with the caveat that you must reboot the DCU without Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman due to those characters becoming public domain, and DC somehow losing trademarks of the names Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
I do like that this question is, imagine that all of the rules of public domain don't exist.
Yeah.
Imagine a totally other thing.
As a man who's in the process of
At
really...
this point, you could just say, just do it without these
I know,
three.
no, I like the specifics.
It's like, no, it has to have an internal logic in the world, but also, I don't understand how it works.
Comic book fans being a little bit tismy.
I mean, easy. I don't think you can say that.
You don't know what it means. How do you reboot the DCU with this editorial monkey's paw? What does your DCU look like going into the 2030s? What creative teams would you hit up to go on this ride with you? I love how many layers are to this.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, in this
The year
world,
2030.
in this world of the question, JFK was never shot.
Yeah. Don't worry, it'll come up.
And the ramifications that this has on public domain law,
You'd never expect.
copyright legislation is
Out the fucking window.
the world is upside down. What you don't know is Kennedy needed to die.
Yeah. Otherwise,
To
domains.
preserve IP.
Yeah. As a man who's learning a lot about IP right now, this is bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the first part of this is you're doing like a reboot of, I don't think he means movies, like comics, like a New 52 style reboot. And
Good
you can't-
question.
And you
I
can't
guess.
use Superman, Batman,
Didn't say
Wonder
EU,
Woman.
he said DCU. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But you have to use, you can't use rather, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Sure.
They're gone.
Yeah.
What's the kind of way that you like? Do you have an idea of like who would you build your DC around?
I mean, I guess
Because I have an answer to this that feels like a cop-out, but it also feels like the right answer to this.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, one, they're kind of doing it right now. Two, they
Where?
Well, because the fact is like they like John Kent, like we're getting characters who are
I see.
like. So is this based on a version that either like?
I mean, I suppose so. I mean, Clark, Bruce, and Diana are still very much
No. What
around
I
and
mean is that like
headlining
we're
books.
getting the younger versions of them already. So there's one cop out. Two cop outs.
I would say though, in this world where Kennedy lives and it ruins copyright law,
we never got Superman Batman.
It doesn't. It's not like you can't use Clark, Bruce, and Diana. You can't use Superman, Batman,
Sure.
and what like as properties.
Sure. Well, then in
They're
that case,
gone.
then just do like Justice League, like United, or like Justice League of America. Like, what's the version with like Shazam and like Black
Yeah.
Canary and like
yeah, like Justice League International.
yeah, that's the one.
But I mean, in a way though, like that one came out of the fact that the main Justice League was like weird done. What I'm saying is, if you're rebooting, do you think those characters come together as a Justice League and not as just a reaction to the big ones not being a Justice League anymore?
But couldn't that still be the case? Because it's like technically you're not using them. You're just saying because of the other ones, like we have to do this.
Oh, so you're saying okay.
Treat it into an event like where it like goes away
I
suddenly.
mean, I guess. I think you're leaving out the reboot part of this question.
sure, but I mean, yeah,
I'm
doing it a DC style.
I
reboot.
also understand because there's like 9 parts to this question.
yes.
But my cop out answer is you do the Justice Society.
Sure.
You have maybe not the actual Justice Society, but just like look to them for the inspiration.
Yeah.
You more or less don't use Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman there. You have a Green Lantern. You have a Flash. You've got like an alien character or something like that. You have a ghost. You have a magic person. You have a strong guy. You have a detective. You just put all the pieces together still. Like you could do any Green Lantern, any Flash. I'd put like Elongated Man in there maybe to be the detective part of it.
Yeah.
You could still use like Hawk Girl or something like that.
Yeah.
You could have Zatanna in there as a magician. You could have like you could still take all of the same pieces
Sure.
as the Justice Society, even if you weren't using specifically Alan J.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think you could still just like use that as the template, and those are the heroes that come together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you could do that for sure.
I like that.
All right, what were parts 3 through 9 of that question?
I think that was mostly it. I mean, it was also like one of the creative teams that you would hit up.
that always just becomes us just listing people that we like.
Yeah, that's always a really hard one for me because it's like I think any team could do any work for the most part. Like I love seeing like Perez on stuff and things like that, but it's like, what does that have right for this? Like,
I mean, that's not going to happen anymore.
Ramon Perez?
Oh, sorry. I think you meant like George Perez.
No, I meant Perez or Ramon Perez.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Tom Grumman.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah, let's just see what he would think about it.
Yeah, I would like to get in his mind.
I hope he's here. I hope he's at Comic-Con.
You just glare at him, walk by.
Got to get him on the pod one day.
Yeah. Be like, so...
This episode, we're finally talking about social justice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a gotcha episode, except we don't get anything.
Or do we?
Or do we?
Who knows?
We may never
It could
know.
go either way.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of creators, but I don't necessarily often think like, man, this creator, I need them on this character.
There are a few that I'm like,
Oh, it comes up sometimes.
Tim Sale was, it used to be a person that I wanted on things.
No, I think you can still want Tim Sale on
Sure.
things.
It's more of the other one.
Well, although didn't Tim Sale die?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just like our George Perez bitch.
Yep. Dead
Yeah.
creators. That's all I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, what I find more difficult to conceive of is the actual mix sometimes of like the writing style and the art style.
Sure.
Like, I can list a bunch of writers I like or a bunch of like pencilers or whatever, but like you also never know what will work or won't. Like if you just independently told me Tom King, Bill Quizevely, I'd be like, Bill Quizevely's stuff is like so much more indie than Tom King. Like but then Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is like
Works,
amazing.
yeah.
It's so you know, like what the fuck do I you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I never know, like, does good, I think specific art can help a thing, but like, is it needed, or like, can specific art ruin a thing? Is it a weirder question, I think.
You mean like having like a really specific style? You mean like a really like noticeable kind of style?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. I mean, a good case in point of that, I think, is Riley Rossmo. Riley Rossmo's got a very specific style that sometimes is exactly right. And then other times I go like, it's actually a little distracting here.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like Riley Rossmo's art really worked for me on Harley Quinn, really worked for me on Martian Manhunter and stuff like that. Do I think it really works for me in Wesley Dodd's Sandman?
Sure.
I'm not sure it does, you know? That's just my opinion. Other people might like it or whatever, but like there are some people that have a real like, and I get it. Like you don't want to be like, I guess I can only do
this type of
X type this genre or whatever. And that's not fair to them either. But there certainly, in terms of serialized comics, the more distinctive your style, I think probably the more difficult it is to just maintain ongoing work.
Totally.
As opposed to like, we have an idea for this run or this arc or this whatever, you know.
That's art in general. I mean,
that's
that always comes sort of with,
you know, like someone like Dan Mora could probably just draw superhero comics for the rest of their lives if they wanted to.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, with that, let's move from Facebook over to Threads.
Threads.
Never consistent with the amount of times you do it.
I'm always consistent. It's the same amount of times I would do Twitter.
No, because you go tut to Twitter.
No, I go tut to Twitter.
You do not.
Well, I absolutely do. Sorry,
let's go to the tape.
Of the two of us, who am I going to trust to have listened either in the room or later to the show?
Sorry, what were you saying?
Exactly.
First question on Threads.
Prove my point, but I still don't feel like I won.
Weird how that works. Mara in Iowa asks, I like the Bat family a lot and have read some modern New 52 plus, Batgirl, Batwoman, and Nightwing. What are some other good characters / storylines I should check out?
What are some of your favorite Bat family things?
Oh, that's interesting, right? Because I don't really spread far outside of Batman very often.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We're right in your wheelhouse, baby.
Wait, what?
I said we're right in your wheelhouse.
How are we
baby.
in my wheelhouse?
Because you said you don't spread outside of Batman very often.
Yes, they're asking me what good outside of Batman, aren't they?
I read that as I love the Bat family. What are more good Bat family things I should read?
Yes, and I'm saying I don't really know Bat family. I know Batman.
Oh, I'm still gonna throw to you.
Oh, okay, good. No, I'm glad that you. I stand by what I said.
There's no way I was wrong.
There's no possible way. Fuck. Okay. Robin, your one's okay.
Sure.
That I like a lot of like one-offs. Like that Christmas issue was really cute.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah. You wait the Detective Comics one where like Joker is driving around with Robin and stuff?
No. The one where they all end up at the end of it. Is that part of 1000 or is that... You know where they all end up taking a photo together at the very end of the issue?
Oh, you mean the one with like Damien and John?
Yeah. That one's really cute.
Yeah, that's a Christmas special, yeah.
Robins.
Yeah, We Are Robin was interesting as an idea. Like reimagining the idea of Robin as like a sort of like political like urban movement kind of thing, like as almost like that was kind of neat.
Gotham Knights.
What else?
Lil Gotham.
Lil Gotham. I like
Urban Legends is good.
Yeah, I mean I would recommend a lot of Nightwing. Even 90s.
I mean that
even 90s 2000s Nightwing I'd recommend largely.
Do you like Eternal?
Batman Eternal? I actually do. I think I'm maybe slightly in the minority that way. But I actually do really like Batman Eternal. That's a 52 issue weekly series that like basically brings in almost every Batman villain. As part of one big plot. And supporting characters and other side characters. Like it's a real like celebration of Batman. It might have even been like in or around Batman's 75th anniversary or something like that. But Batman Eternal, I really like. Batman and Robin Eternal, I don't like as much.
No,
but it does help reintroduce a character like Cassandra Cain, who had been missing in the New 52 and stuff like that.
Rebirth has got a lot of Bat Family, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a Batgirl book. There's Nightwing. There's Red Hood and the Outlaws. Actually, the Rebirth era Red Hood and the Outlaws is pretty good. I would stay away from the New 52 one.
Sure,
But the Rebirth era Red Hood and the Outlaws is actually fun. I like it. There's lots of good Bat Family stuff out there. If you've only read New 52 Batwoman, I would go back and read the the Greg Rucka Batwoman from beforehand, from like around Final Crisis or whatever that was, and like the run of Detective Comics where Batwoman was the lead, or the run of Detective Comics in the Rebirth era where they had like a team together and Batwoman was part of that team. Clayface was on that team. That's also a very good run. There's a lot of really good Bat Family stuff out there. There's so many books, throw a dart,
truly
kind of at a certain point.
All right. Next question from Cryptomite, who asks, who are the known characters to be stuck in the source wall?
Oh, shit.
What a very specific question.
So the source wall was this idea that it was like a wall around all of creation. You'd see it in every universe at the boundary of creation. And on the other side of it was the source, which is that Kirby kind of like, it's the energy of creation. It's more or less God. It's the overmind. It's whatever you want to call it. You cannot, even though it's happened, because of course it's happened, you can't go past the source wall. You can't touch if you touch the source wall, it does like a king.
You go into it, don't it?
It gets like a King Midas thing. You become part of the source wall. They've trapped Darkseid in the source wall before, and then obviously from circumstances he's escaped. Some of the old gods are in the source wall, including Yuga Khan, who's Darkseid's father, is in the source wall. They ended up trapping Relic in the source wall. Relic was a being from a previous version of the universe that tried to wipe out all of the Lantern Corps. I think they eventually trapped Relic in the source wall. Kyle Rayner has gone through the source wall before. The source wall broke at the end of Dark Knight's Metal, and it let Perpetua out / back in to our multiverse. Yeah, I mean, Luthor, I think, ended up in the source wall at one point. Yeah, I think largely it's old gods. It's gods from like the third world, the second world, Urgrund, stuff like that, I think are a lot of what makes up the source wall. But yeah, other characters have been placed in there or, been trapped or albeit temporarily or whatever. But yeah, I don't have an exhaustive list of everyone who's been in the source wall.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Certainly off the dome, I don't. Yeah.
All right. With that, let's leave Threads and head on over to Instagram.
Sorry, I'm yawning. Now we're going to Instagram. Take some questions and answer.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, am I boring you? Don't answer that. First question comes from the real Josh Gill, who asks,
sexy Gill.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, you're just going to blow right through?
Well, I don't know. Last time I did this,
me out last week. And now
because you didn't show up. Who asks, most popular character.
This is so fucked up.
With the fewest appearances.
You want to do this now? It's so fucked of you to be like this.
Oh, yeah. No, it's on me. Answer the fucking question.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, let's fucking deal with it. Or else.
So, sorry, most popular characters
Shows up the least.
with the fewest appearances. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last week, but like Elongated Man feels like one of those characters that is like so loved, at least versus the number of modern appearances they make. Like Elongated Man did recur and stuff in Flash comics and things like that, but like the amount that people love Ralph and Sue Dibney versus like an objectively smaller amount of appearances, that's a pretty big one. You know, it's probably not the widest gulf, or it's certainly not the fewest appearances of a character I can name, but I just feel like the love that people have for those characters is so outsized versus how often they showed up. They showed up a bunch in a very particular era, I feel, and got a lot of people on board. And then
yeah, I mean, it's a tough question, right? Because it's like, how do you determine what is the most popular with the fewest appearances? So,
yeah, what's that scale?
Yeah, because it's like, is that like, could a character who's extremely popular right now but just showed up,
right,
or is that somebody who was really popular before and hasn't shown up in a long time, right, or is it somebody who's like the most mid? Like,
yeah.
So in that case, I don't know, Dr. Fate. It's a character who's been around since like the 40s.
Yeah, but Dr. Fate's appeared a bunch. Like,
but also
every time there's a magic story, Dr. Fate shows up.
Does he show up as much as he is popular? I don't know.
I mean, he's probably shown up more than he is popular, I would say.
Interesting.
He might be on the other side of that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it is tricky though. Vixen.
Sure.
Pretty popular in terms of people liking the character.
Yeah.
She's got cool powers in that. But, you know, a Vixen is probably in there as well.
Batmite?
Yeah, Batmite. Yeah. How popular is Batmite? Good question.
Popular, but doesn't really show up. I don't know. Ambush Bug?
Yeah. It is a tricky question. I wonder if a character like, I'm trying to think of characters that are like relatively well known who just you kind of rarely see. I mean, there's a recency bias in this. Like most of the characters I'm naming, they probably did, like Vixen was on the Justice League,
sure,
was in every issue of Justice League.
Yeah.
But recently, you don't get a ton of Vixen. Katana,
sure,
was on The Outsiders. Is like, does show up, but like Katana feels like a character that is less around than their popularity. Yeah, that's
the Riddler.
The Riddler's in the opposite territory, I think, which is like they show up way more than they are popular.
I'm trying to think of like
I don't mean popular. Well, this is also the definition of popular. It's like,
this is the problem.
Is it being known or is it being liked?
Yeah.
Everyone knows the Riddler.
But it's like, is he used as much as he's known? And I always like, that's a hard question to answer. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting about the Riddler is even in universe, there's a sort of sense that he's actually kind of like, he's kind of got some like stolen Bat villain valor. Not actually stolen, but just the idea of like, you're not in the same, you think you're in the same league as the Joker?
I mean, this is the thing, yeah.
Like, and the comics have riffed on this a few times. Like, the War of Jokes and Riddles is basically literally about that. And at one point in that story, Bruce Wayne, as Bruce Wayne, brings the Joker and the Riddler together and says, if one of you can convince me why you should win this war, I'll fund you.
Wow.
Like Batman's out of options at this point. And Joker's whole like closing argument is just like, it's simple. He's the Riddler and I'm the Joker, and who gives a shit about the Riddler? Like, he just says it. Then there was in Year of the Villain when Lex, as Apex Lex, was going around on behalf of Perpetua, like augmenting powers and granting stuff to the villains to try and tip the scales of the universe towards doom. The Riddler, the Riddler one shot is about him waiting for Lex to show up, and Lex is like, "You're not worth anything. Why would I augment you for what?"
Wow.
Like, and in that one, it's like the Riddler and King Tut, like a famously jokey Batman villain, hanging out. And Riddler's like, "I need to get my life together." Like, so there's a sort of weird thing with the Riddler that way, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Even in universe, you know. Yeah. A popular character with not many appearances. Do you have any other kind of big ones in there? Miss Martian.
Oh, sure.
I think
Is
Miss
she
Martian's
popular, yeah.
especially because of Young Justice, like that show and stuff. I think Miss Martian has like a really big kind of like fan base, but Miss Martian comic appearances are like minimal.
Here's one that has been maybe again. It's always that thing where it's like you buy a car and you see it everywhere. Is Red Tornado like?
I don't know that Red Tornado is that popular.
Because this is the thing, like, because they made it of that fucking toy thing that we got, the Ooshis.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I'm like, I feel like I hear about him more than I would expect to.
I'd probably say he shows up more than he's popular.
It's again another one of those.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a tough one objectively. Yeah. I don't know. Those are the closest that I can get with it, though. I think Miss Martian or Vixen or Katana or Elongated Man. Yeah,
that's fucked.
They kind of feel like they're the ones in that category.
Question's getting in my head. All right, next question from Yokro
Wooshi.
Yokro Wooshi. Ow, I bit my tongue.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a blood call.
Joke from a different podcast.
Yeah, whatever. They have done a world without Superman, but what if they did a world without Swamp Thing? How would the DC universe be affected without the Champion of the Green?
I mean, the world without Superman, that's that like JLA The Nail.
Yeah.
Where like Superman doesn't show up, but the Justice League kind of forms anyway or whatever. The thing with Swamp Thing that's slightly different than the Superman thing is like Superman is, or at least at his start, is one person. He becomes Superman, then he inspires others, then he has a family, and then Superman becomes bigger than him. But you could do a story like that where it's like, if he doesn't become Superman, no one does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, though, is a lineage. Like they're the avatars of the green.
Mm-hmm.
Even back to Swamp Thing's first appearance, House of Secrets number 92, that Swamp Thing is not Alec Holland. His name is Alex Olson.
Yeah.
And it's the 19th century and it's done like a gothic horror. Now, at the time, it's because it was a one-shot story. But it was later retconned as part of Moore's Swamp Thing run that Alex Olson is just an older avatar of the green. There's a dinosaur avatar of the green. There's like all these, like, there's always one.
Yeah.
So a world without Swamp Thing, for it to truly be without Swamp Thing, you actually have to be without the Parliament of Trees. You have to be without the collective consciousness of plant life. That's not to say that there are no plants, but you would have to do without that entire kind of idea and magical kingdom. And I just think, I don't know. It feels like I feel like that's just a less interesting world.
But I mean,
we're just in our world at a certain, you know what I mean? Like,
but also like, especially when you look at like ecological impacts of like all of the natural disasters that he's been either thwarted or a part of, like.
Well, yeah, and he's barely holding it at bay. Yeah, so you just on like a mechanical level, things would be probably a lot worse.
Well, and the imbalance of like the red, the green, the blue, like.
Well, that's the other thing. Just because there's no green. Or like Parliament of Trees doesn't mean that there's not a Parliament of Limbs or of decay or, the rot and the red, the balance is off. Exactly. So, I think it'd be relatively cataclysmic, pretty bad.
Yeah.
If the question is just what if there was no Alec Holland, then it's like, well, who else is around? Who else might have been?
Ivy.
Possibly. Or even worse, Jason Woodrue, the Floronic Man.
Yeah.
who is always kind of circling being the Avatar, So like that would have been worse too. Alec Holland is like a voice of reason,
Yeah,
even with the Parliament. Jason Woodrue is not.
totally.
So
Yeah, wouldn't be good.
yeah,
Don't let that happen.
yeah, don't do it.
Yeah. Next question from Robbie's just this guy.
Oh,
No-
sorry, was I supposed to put something in there? He's just this guy. I'm just doling out drops now for any just this guy.
The things you've said in the back of bathrooms.
Listen,
Imagine when I just doling out drops for just this guy.
me taking shits into bags and handing them out. I'm just doling out drops for just this guy.
Jesus. Have you read any Tom Strong? I bought the compendium DC put out, and it's weirdly optimistic and fun for Alan Moore. His love for comics is really on display.
Tom Strong's awesome. So Tom Strong is an Alan Moore creation, and it's got this sort of like retro futurist kind of thing. And Tom Strong is just this like impossibly buff inventor and cool dad like kind of character.
Oh, that sounds fun.
He's got I don't even know the right like way to describe him, but it's true. It is a very kind of, you can see that Alan Moore loves comics when you're reading something like that.
Sure.
It's fun, and it's like blimps and fans and science, and like I don't know, it's like a cool adventure, and it's wholesome, and I don't know, something about it just feels so classic. It feels like kind of a 50s 60s sci-fi thing, like not quite like a Buck Rogers or something like that, but like there are sort of Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon-y elements to it, maybe in just how sincere it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is like, again, it's like the retro futurism thing. Like it makes it feel a little like the Jetsons, or a little like, I'm not sure what else. I haven't read a ton of Tom Strong, to be honest. I've read some, and I've really liked it. I was reading the Terrifics when they actually brought Tom Strong into the DC universe, which, Alan Moore pre-rolling in his grave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the idea of the character and that world. The best way I could describe it is it's a world where we were like, yeah, dirigibles are a good idea. Like they don't. You go like, yeah, cleaner, easier, better things, like a nicer place. And Tom Strong's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would like.
I think you would. I don't know if you've ever like seen him, but like he's got it's a cool like look even. Tom Strong. That's Tom Strong.
Oh, I'd like that. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, like it's just so goddamn cool. Yeah, I don't know, it's just the belt. It's like an adventurer, and he's got goggles and shit. It's like, like I don't know, I just like it.
Yeah.
There's something very like intrepid about it.
It's like strange adventures-y kind of.
It's like a science-y version of an archaeologist adventure kind of thing. It's sort of the
love that stuff. All right, let's go to the next question from Mitch Cochran, who asks, if you could go back to the very beginning of DC, which hero would you make the center of the universe?
I'll happily answer this question, Mitch, once you promise that you name your kid Zephram, because the timeline is now.
What?
Mitch Cochran.
Zephram
Cochran
yeah.
invents warp drive in like 2063. Like we need to get on this shit.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Move to Montana. Watch out for the factions. I mean, World War III is not great, but warp drive after that. So.
Sure. I hope you're in. You want a child, and
it's out of your hands.
I mean, it doesn't come from your hands, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's out of your hands.
You can't finger your way into this.
It's a joke from a different podcast.
Yep.
Sorry, what was the question again?
If you could go back to the very beginning of DC, which
Right.
hero would you make the center of the universe?
Right. So, like Superman is, basically the cornerstone on which DC is
Yeah.
built. And we meta narratively come back to that all the time, that Superman is like at the heart of the metaverse and
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Him and Facebook,
Yeah. Just drop the man. It's cleaner. Just super. It's kind of hard to conceive of, but like, who else would you put in that position?
Zatanna.
Zatanna. Whoa. You would go back and be like, all of this starts with backwards magic.
I like the idea that all of this can come from magic rather than from like science.
Right, I see. Yeah.
So the idea that like magic is what gave all these people powers, magic is what like started this like this universe of heroes and creatures. Also, like the probably speed in which we get to like multiverse stuff, maybe even quicker. And
it is funny though, that, like the 40s did have a pretty strong magic bent. It's funny how the 50s and 60s and the space race or whatever.
I think that's
like,
what it is. Yeah.
took it over and made it science. Because
yeah.
like you go like the Justice Society, like Green Lantern was magic.
Yeah. Totally.
Dr.
Yeah.
Fate, the Spectre.
Yeah.
You had like Zatara the Magician. Like there's
yeah.
quite a lot of magic in the like Dr. Occult. Like
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
early ones were more spooky.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I kind of like that.
What about you?
Man, it's tough. I mean, my inclination is to say Wonder Woman, but I don't want to be accused of just borrowing 5G's idea. Because that was sort of what they were kind of angling at when that 5G initiative was maybe going to happen, was that Wonder Woman was like the first public hero. They were going to sort of change it, build it out from there. And I don't hate that idea, but I just think that, well, I mean, that whole thing wasn't super thought through, I don't think. Yeah. Who else would you build, the foundation on? I don't think you want to do it on Batman. I mean, yeah, if you, you know what? I might do it on like Hawkman.
Whoa.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I try to use the fact that they are constantly around. They're always reincarnating to be like, they're the thread that ties the universe together, So if you had characters if you had like a Middle Ages, like a Shining Knight story, they're there, If you have I don't know. I'd maybe make them like these sort of like watchful, wise kind of like protectors of the whole of human history kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe Hawkman and Hawkgirl is maybe who I would try to, because also I think like part of the Superman thing is like that look is so iconic, so primal, just blue and red and yellow, just a strongman outfit holding that car. But I think another relatively primal image is just like a guy with wings.
Sure.
Like maybe all the like green, yellow, red is maybe a little much, but just like a guy with a cool helmet and wings,
Mm-hmm.
like that feels like a real kind of like primordial, that you're tapping into like angel imagery and all sorts of kind of stuff. The impetus, the desire to fly. That's the thing that Superman had too, although not initially in comics.
Yeah,
He could
yeah.
only jump. I do think you're tapping into something kind of interesting there, so maybe them.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next question. From Jesus Christ, hide your family, hide your daughter.
Oh no.
Jack Stonewall.
Oh my God.
Who asks?
Yeah, no big bad wolf's getting in here.
No.
Yeah, he had his brothers Jack Strawwall and Jack Stickwall. I guess Jack is the family name.
Yeah, that's weird. Or a lazy parent.
Yeah. I don't know. You're Strawwall. You look like you won't try. You're Stickwall. You'll try, but you're not smart. And then there's Jack Stonewall.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Light a fire. That wolf's coming down the chimney.
Anyways,
We're eating burnt wolf ass tonight. Is that the moral of that story?
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, that's it. And then the three little pigs said, "We're eating burnt wolf ass tonight."
Sam Winchester's like, I'm listening.
Yeah, I'll kill a dog.
Anyways,
Joke from a different podcast.
it doesn't matter anymore. Next question is
it
from Jack
Oh,
Stonewall,
okay, sorry.
who asks, "Who is the cat under Barry, and who is the blue thing under Green Arrow?"
Shit. Yeah, I posted photos when I put this up. So
Oh.
let's just go back and Squeebity boop. Let's have a look here. The picture that I posted. So sorry, the first one is the cat that's under Barry. That might be Streaky the super cat.
Oh, sure.
Although I think Streaky's usually more orange, but that one might just be Streaky. It's just a little yellow
you
cat.
describing your underwear to your wife.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's my underwear because I shit myself.
Haven't done that anytime recently.
I said it on the fucking meme.
Yeah, I know.
We
What
all
we're
know.
hiding from this. Yeah.
There's no point, man. Everything's fucking pointless. What was the other part? The other one?
Which is the blue thing under Green Arrow.
The blue thing under Green Arrow. Oh, yeah. Oh. Good question. Some sort of dinosaur wearing a vest. Very good question. I actually don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. It's that thing. Weird, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. That's a great
Some
question.
weird pterodactyl-y looking.
Yeah, I'm truly not sure.
What's it from?
Great question.
Like,
I don't know
what the image.
Oh, the image is like the DC universe, just like all the kind of
Oh, weird.
weird one. I really don't know.
Alex?
Yeah, Jaffe, the blue pterodactyl guy in a red vest.
Who?
Who?
Next question. From Blake Von Sextron,
Nice.
who asks, what type of pizza are the Hall of Justice Board of Directors ordering for the league?
Oh, also the idea of them having to answer to a board of directors.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But also the Board of Directors orders the pizza for the league?
Yeah. Woof.
Yeah.
Um.
Usually it's the people who work there who
Yeah. We'd be like, we need food for the board meeting.
yeah, that's more of
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. Interesting.
But let's just say what's the
Be
league
like, in
order?
lieu of annual bonuses, we have bought you pizza.
Yeah, I mean that's real.
Yeah.
Uh,
Annual bonuses in a not-for-profit. Well, I guess it could be a for-profit board.
Do you ever see those
That's
TikToks
true.
of the not-for-profit boss lady?
Yeah.
Those fucking
Yeah.
that's too good.
No, you can have a for-profit board of directors. So yeah, what are they bringing to the
Instead, let's
shareholders meeting?
What's the league order? I think that's probably the better
No, it's got to
question.
be the board.
No, because it's asking what do they order for the league.
Yeah, but it means that they're the ones making the decision.
Okay, you do that. I'll do the which
I'll do
character.
the easier one, which is this.
Yeah.
Wow, you listen. They got to go bland. 1 cheese, 1 pepperoni, 1 vegetarian.
I love that you're not even answering it's not even like character related now it's just what a board of directors would eat.
Yes,
Not
they're
even
like-
DC related. The
yeah.
theme.
It's like we can't get to know you, but there's a veggie option, there's a no meat option, there's
yeah.
and there's only 7 of you. 3 pizzas is fine. Barry eats them all, and people are like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Okay.
Okay, now you do it.
Okay. All right.
Pretty sure I nailed it.
So, Clark gets all American pizza.
Yeah. Milk,
Yeah, like
milk
a cheese,
pizza,
classic pepperoni and cheese pizza.
just squirt straight from the cow.
Jesus. Bruce gets something like a bit more like mature, but also like not something that everybody would want.
Anchovies.
Anchovies with like artichokes and like black olives.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's also flown in from Rome. Yeah.
Diana gets like a Greek pizza.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That seems like an easy one.
Yeah.
Barry gets something like spicy.
Oh, interesting. I would have gone like the meat lovers thing, like load up all the protein you can
Sure.
in as like as many toppings as you can muster.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur gets like a seafood pizza.
Ugh, God.
You don't like a seafood pizza?
When have you had a seafood pizza?
With like shrimp and stuff on it? Yeah, I've had it.
When? I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm saying like when have you had that?
There's like a fancy pizza place that I'd gone to.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. But like shrimp, scallops,
Yeah.
just salmon.
I mean, not
calamari, a bunch of chewy calamari on a
maybe,
pizza.
yeah.
I guess you could replace the pizza sauce with a seafood sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah,
Horseradishy.
Green Lantern gets like, I don't know, vegetarian pizza.
Oh, no. Well, it depends which Green Lantern,
like spinach and arugula and like green peppers.
I think Hal's a pepperoni guy. Hal's,
fair.
classic. Yeah.
Cyborg.
Oh, God. Well, listen, Cyborg is from Detroit.
Oh, Detroit style pizza. There you go.
Detroit style pizza. There
Boom.
you go. Martian Manhunter.
Dessert pizza.
Oh, a treatza pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, a Choco treatza pizza.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Great call.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd say you did a pretty good job, and I nailed it this time.
For your interpretation of what that question was.
Which was what the question was.
Not about DC at all, which was the theme.
Oh, sorry. There is a theme. Then why are we doing it in Epuary?
Because it's a theme of all of the things that it could
themeless.
be.
What part of themeless don't
There's
you
not
understand?
No theme.
Exactly. It's themeless.
No,
it's different than not having a theme.
An episode. Therefore, it's at baseline. It's about DC.
I feel
themeless means it's.
I feel like you're not listening.
I don't.
It's
feel like,
not no theme.
I know that
it's themeless.
That's why I'm saying if this podcast had no theme, for
it would be November if it had no theme.
Hold on.
You sound like an idiot right now.
If this podcast was themeless, then it would just be DC Comics.
Yeah, it's
related,
themeless.
Which this then would be baseline referring to a DC thing.
Yeah, the board of directors of the Justice League.
You're making it non-comic related, though.
It is absolutely comic related.
In
that they're the board of directors for the Justice League.
What do they decide on in the board of directors?
Like the annual budget.
Nice. God, you're gonna be great.
I don't know what a for-profit board does. Just sit around counting their money, laughing at the poors.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, let's leave it.
Planning to poison the Gotham Reservoir or something.
Leave Instagram and go to the Reddit.
Where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
First question from Diaper Gal Kate, who asks, there was a comic book run where Brainiac kidnapped the heroes and villains and grouped them into teams to kill off trees and seeds. Which team out of them were the strongest?
So I think the thing you're talking about is Justice League No Justice.
Like the miniseries from like 2018 or something?
Yes, which came out right after Dark Knight's Metal. So at the conclusion of Dark Knight's Metal, the Justice League uses Element X, which is the metal of creation, the 10th metal. They use that to bring their world out of the dark multiverse to like repair the damage done, but using that power cracks the source wall. And these things called the Omega Titans wake up. And the Omega Titans are kind of like they feel like Marvel's like Celestials, just like giant humanoid things that move through space.
Yeah.
And Brainiac basically they were assembling teams of heroes and villains to team up because this threat was bigger than any of them. And each of the trees had like a theme. These trees were sprouting up in places of like specific importance. There was like a tree of wisdom and a tree of truth, or like
Pistum.
easy. I can't remember what they all were, but basically these teams had to go and stop the Omega Titans and all this kind of stuff. So, but it was basically random teams of heroes and villains. I don't remember all the team makeups though. Like, I guess I'm trying to look it up here. To decide who would actually be the best one or my favorite one. Justice League, no Justice. Let's have a little look at some of these teams. Here we go.
So there's team Wisdom, Wonder, Entropy, Mystery.
Right. So those are the 4 trees, right? Because they had to go after each of these things. So one team I think was Superman, Martian Manhunter, Sinestro, Starfire, and Starro.
Yeah, that's like Team Mystery.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful
I feel
team.
like that's the team.
Like a super, super powerful team.
Yeah. I feel like you can't not choose that team.
That's definitely way up there.
Because there's Batman and Lobo.
And Deathstroke and Luthor and Beast Boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad team,
But
but
it's
like
not
compared to that
No.
other one, you know. Yeah. Let's see. The third one was Wonder Woman, Etrigan, Zatanna, Dr. Fate, and Raven. That's the magic version of that first team, though.
Sure.
You know, like heavy hitters there. Zatanna, Dr. Fate, and Raven are on a team with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And Etrigan is also just like cool and powerful.
Yeah.
But like that's a pretty powerful group. I wouldn't count them out. And then the fourth team here, we got Flash, Robin, Harley Quinn, and Cyborg. I mean, I'm just going by these cover images. The actual teams might have been slightly different than that, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to not go with that first team. Superman, Martian Manhunter, Starfire, Starro, and Sinestro. Huge power at play there.
Feels like the choice.
Yeah.
All right, next question from Daspel23, who asks, I'm reading the Dark Knight's metal / death metal, and I have some questions. Who are Barbatos and Perpetua? And what are the metals? And they mention Batmantium or Batmanium.
Right.
I'm so confused. Also, does Red Hood show up?
So, there's a lot going on in there. So, first thing. So, Barbatos is a character that actually showed up, I think as part of Batman. No, not Batman R.I.P. Return of Bruce Wayne after Final Crisis. But the retcon during Dark Knight's Metal is that Barbatos, this giant bat god, is actually part of like the cosmic like gears of the DC multiverse.
Oh my God.
The big reveal in Dark Knight's Metal is that there is a dark multiverse. And so the part of the retcon of this is that there's the positive matter multiverse, and there is the Monitor, Mar-Novu. There is the antimatter universe, Quard, and the Anti-Monitor. We've known those characters for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then in the dark multiverse, where it's all about potential and possibility, you had the third, basically, Monitor. He's called the World Forger. His name is Alphaeus. And down there in the World Forge, he would craft stories, and the ones that were good and like right, not even good, but just like correct, would ascend and join the positive matter universe. Anything that got too out of control would get destroyed at the boundaries in the antimatter universe, and then he would forge away in the dark. And if a story didn't work, then he had a dragon of the forge that would basically destroy those realities, return them to their like primordial components for him to forge something new. Barbatos was the dragon of the World Forger until he, kind of corrupted by Perpetua, killed the World Forger and took his place.
Was it? I thought Barbatos was like the bat that Batman saw out the window.
No. Well, I mean, the Barbatos is like a cosmic god level kind of being. He is connected to Batman specifically.
Yeah.
But he operates on this very kind of huge level. So Barbatos killed the World Forger, took his place, and then did not destroy the broken worlds in the dark multiverse. So all these sick worlds were just there with all these twisted things, all the evil Batman, all the like worst versions of things were there. Eventually, actually, Hawkman reincarnated as the new dragon of the World Forge.
Oh my god.
So Barbatos basically ends up working for Perpetua, and the Dark Knights in Dark Knight's Metal, the Batman Who Laughs, etc. They're working for Barbatos. They're going to drag the positive matter multiverse into the dark. That's the idea. And
Batmanium.
So it's called Dark Knight's Metal, because aesthetically we're riffing on heavy metal, but metal is part of it. So in Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo's Batman run in the New 52, there's an arc called Super Heavy that involves basically this. We talk a lot of, actually all of that whole Batman run, we talk about a couple of different things. There's Electrum, which was a kind of liquid metal that was used by the Court of Owls in terms of making their owls. They're kind of resurrected zombie assassins.
We always talk about nth metal.
So there's Electrum, there's the eighth metal, which is there's supposed to be 10 metals or whatever, you know. It's not literally in terms of iron, nickel, whatever, but like classes of metal, I guess you would call them. The eighth metal is the metal of the gods. It's something like the God Killer sword or things like that. The nth metal is the ninth metal is a psychic metal. That's what Hawkman and Hawkgirl have. Onimar Sin was like a god of nth metal kind of thing. And then Element X, which we had that's from Kirby stuff. That's what's inside Metron's Mobius chair.
Mm-hmm.
That's the metal of creation. That's the one that I just said that the Justice League used at the end of that story. Batmanium is somewhere in there too, because the whole start of the metal thing is that Batman has been, quote, mantled. He has all these kind of different compounding metals inside him, and they turn Batman himself into a portal through which the Dark Knights emerge from the dark multiverse.
Okay.
Very, this is Scott Snyder at Scott Snyder's most I can be Grant Morrison.
Sure.
The most high concepts Scott Snyder gets, I think. So it's all kind of connected that way. But I would, if you want to kind of understand what those things are, you should basically just read New 52 Batman, that run. And you should read Dark Days, The Forge, Dark Days, The Casting, and then Dark Knight's Metal, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there.
And the final piece of that was Red Hood shows up.
I don't remember offhand, but yes, almost certainly, at least in death metal, but possibly also in Dark Knight's Metal. I think the rest of the rest of the Bat family is because they're dealing with stuff during Dark Knight's Metal. Because Challenger Mountain just shows up in Gotham, like the Challengers of the Unknown. Their Mountain just appears in Gotham, and the Bat family is kind of doing stuff in this kind of hellscape Gotham. So Red Hood must be part of that. It's been a while since I read it, though.
All right. Next question from Armory Comics, who asks, what happened to the Martian refugees that Martian Manhunter found? Did they all take human identities, or did they repopulate Mars?
So I think the story that you're referring to is there's a group of white Martian refugees because they were persecuted by green Martians, which sort of changed the narrative of white Martians, who are historically villains of Martian Manhunter. But he did find them a home, like somewhere in like the Midwest or something. It might have even been in like middle. Oh, was it in what's his town in Colorado or whatever, Middleton, or it might. He found them a home somewhere, but they got like found out and persecuted. I think he just gave them identities. They almost certainly did not go back to Mars. Every time we see Mars, Mars is still, by and large, dead.
Yeah.
You know, there's obvious exceptions. There's, there's a secret Martian colony under there. Like, there's a thing we forgot about. Or there's always something. But by and large, Mars is like not, it's not just like another planet with populations. You know what I mean? So I suspect, you know, we haven't revisited those white Martians, I don't think. Not in any meaningful way in a long time. I suspect they're living human lives somewhere in the Midwest, basically. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Coming from Nameless Nerd Talk, who asks, what are your thoughts on Matt Reeves' Batman 2? What villain or villains would you choose for the movie? Personally, I think a Killer Croc and Mr. Freeze film could add lots of nuance and intrigue. Now, we actually have already gotten, I think, who some of the villains are going to be.
I don't think so, because every time they post something, James Gunn goes, nope. He just comes online and goes like, you're wrong.
I feel like I saw something recently, but maybe that was already miscounted.
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think maybe the closest we got was maybe Hush.
Yeah.
Had been talked about or whatever, but it's hard to know what's a rumor and what's not.
Sure.
I think my suspicion is that it won't be as cool of a character as I want it to be. Like, Hush is fine, but it's also just a dude. Like, do fucking Mr. Freeze. Like, I want Batman to fight someone with powers. Do a proper Ivy movie. Do Clayface. Do, Croc is sure a great idea. I liked that first The Batman, but it's like, we get it. We're doing the long Halloween thing. This is the shift in Gotham from organized crime to supervillainy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, we got to push it further. The Riddler was just a guy in a coat, We need something bigger. Have Batman fight fucking Solomon Grundy. Like, I don't know. I think Matt Reeves' aesthetic is just pointing him away from even like do Ra's again, but do like with like an actual Lazarus pit, not the Nolan thing of like, is he immortal or is the symbol what's immortal?
Sure.
No, he went into the green ooze pit and he came back 200 years younger. Like, just do that shit. I think is kind of
stop being afraid.
That's sort of where I'm at with Batman, like.
Can we just get one version of like a magic thing or like a powered thing?
Yeah, just something, or bring Azrael in and he actually has the flaming sword and he, like, I don't know, just do something like big, I think is where I'm at. So I don't know what to think of it. I have a suspicion that we'll just keep getting more just guys in coats, which is like fine, I suppose. But I don't know. I want something a little bit more, I think. What about you?
I mean, yeah, I think that there's always like Mr. Freeze is nice because he sort of crosses the two lines.
Sure.
And so it gives you the ability to be able to get some of that, like.
Yeah, he's not like full magic or something, but it's like, it's just a little bit unreal.
And even Killer Croc, theoretically, if you didn't have him talk or anything, like...
Hey, I've got a great idea for Killer Croc in a movie. What if he, like, loved watching BET? BET.
I think...
I'm beautiful.
What a fucking weird thing. Yeah. Like, I do not want that Joker. At all.
Barry, Keegan's or Kogan's or however you say his name.
I'm
not sure what, like, I don't know if it's just like somehow that like the sound was out of focus. Like I feel like I never actually heard a word out of that Joker. I just heard like,
I think you might be right. Yeah, I think I might
Like,
do the same thing.
I don't know how you record sound out of focus, but I think they managed it.
The ventriloquist could be fun.
Yes. I mean, as far as regular guy kind of Batman characters, that's a fun one because at least you get to play with the dummy and you can play with that like, is it real or is he just a great crazy ventriloquist? You know, like that's kind of cool.
You might be able to do Solomon Grundy.
Yeah. Mad Hatter, you know, like Mr. Freeze, just has one extra like mind control. Fine. That's a slightly sci-fi thing, but more or less you could probably get away with Mad Hatter.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want Riddler again. I want that to be done.
No.
I think it'll be nice to have that Penguin show if that happens.
I heard it is. I saw something, but
because like that's
they've been filming it, I think.
Because like that, I wouldn't want him in the movie again.
No. Come on.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. I was waiting for it.
No habla español.
But I wouldn't want to go back to that well.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do any more crime family stuff. Like now we've moved past it. I don't really care about Hush. I don't want Calendar Man.
You know, Deacon Blackfire would be like actual magic.
Sure.
So that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
There's lots of things you could do. Like, as also, you know, for they keep applying like bits of other characters. Like you've sort of already done it with Riddler, but it would have been neat maybe to do Anarchy. Anarchy's like a cool antagonist for Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been neat.
Yep.
But
all right, next question from Just Takes One Bad Day 725.
Yes.
Who asks, what is something about nothing? He has a really cool design, but besides that, I know nothing. Pun not intended about the character.
Oh, fuck. He's Green Arrow.
Must be new.
Relatively.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know if there is anything all that. I mean, there must be something, but like trained as an assassin. He's got assassin-y clothes. I don't remember very much about nothing, if I'm being honest. Fought Green Arrow, though. Pretty sure.
You can't get something from nothing.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a character I've truly never thought about again. And I read a lot of Green Arrow when it comes out. So, yeah, that's probably not a great sign. Especially because there are other things that stay. Like the Ninth Circle stuff, I keep coming back to. I love that idea.
Yeah.
So cool. But, like, yeah, I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Last question. From Arpit the Hero.
How dare you?
Who asks, are the leprechauns in DC Comics Malthusians or imps like Shaggy the Leprechauns?
So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, actually.
We did.
There's a story that like its canonicity is, you know, up for debate, I suppose. But that the leprechauns are a long lost branch of Malthusians. The Malthusians are the original species from which the Guardians of the Universe and the Controllers and the Zamarons all descend. And in one story, yeah, it's revealed that the leprechauns are also that, like, the vestiges of their power are like leprechaun magic now. But that they were at one point Malthusians who had left and gone to Earth. So not fifth dimensional imps. Because Malthusians are from within our universe. They're not even multiversal. They're from within our universe.
They're interdimensional though, aren't they?
No, they just come from the planet Maltus. And they are, or they are said to be one of the first, if not the first, intelligent species in the universe. So the idea is that they're older, wiser, more powerful, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we know that, like, at least the Guardians of the Universe, fucking crazy. The Zamarons, not that, They're not above violence and things like that.
Yeah,
The controller's like deeply problematic. So, but they are meant to be among the earliest intelligent life in the universe. But yeah, so basically leprechauns like forgot that that's what they were, and they've descended from Malthusians. But they're just within our universe, so not nearly as powerful as an imp like Mr. Mxyzptlk or Batmite or Nightmite or any character like that.
Are they associated with imps though?
No. Imps are totally different. They exist in the fifth dimension, which is like imagination. It's like literally, it's like where I come from.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to bring in your wife in here to double check that, or?
No, I'm okay. My feelings have been hurt enough.
What the fuck's the Shaggy the Leprechaun?
Sorry?
Shaggy the Leprechaun?
Oh, that must be a leprechaun with a name from a DC comic I can't remember. Yeah, sorry. The only Shaggy character I can think of is the Shaggy Man, who's a giant, indestructible, like abominable, like Yeti, not Yeti, Bigfoot kind of robot monster. That at one point General Eiling's brain gets put into, or his consciousness, or whatever, and he becomes just the General, a big, scary, indestructible monster. The Shaggy Man is like a Justice League like adversary we don't talk about very much, but he's like literally an indestructible robot Bigfoot. He's
Weird.
called the Shaggy Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not know.
But no, Shaggy the Leprechaun, sorry, it's drawing a blank from me, but at least we can confirm that leprechauns are related to the Guardians of the Universe.
Well, damn.
There you go.
There we go. There was an episode.
Yeah, for Epuary. You're welcome.
Of course. If you want to send questions in for another episode,
you'll see that go up online.
Cool.
Listen, I've been busy. If you want to learn how busy, go subscribe to the Patreon.
Oh, yeah. If you want to know, how busy the doctor gets.
Yeah. If you want to get busy with me, subscribe on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Dr. DC. There's a $1, $5, $7 level. They all give you access to the Discord, our awesome Discord fan community. And at the higher levels, you get bonus episodes. You get the double dose, where Epuary continues. And at the highest level, starting next at the highest level, you get bonus series. There's Bonding Time. There's Toretto Talks. There's a rewatch series of James Bond and Fast and Furious films, respectively. And starting next month, there'll be a new series, Cerebros, which is an X-Men rewatch podcast. So all sorts of extra stuff that helps to support us.
And speaking of us, you can reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
Dr. DC Podcast, wherever, whenever we're meant to be together.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And next week's episode theme.
It's, put it this way, it's not no theme. I couldn't be clearer about this.
How about it's meta-human rights?
You're on such like a specific kick right now. Where's your head at right now?
How about rebellion and revolution?
Oh, God. Fucking SJW theme. Fine. Rebellion and revolution. Let's do it.
There we go. Trying to help. Trying to be part of this.
You're just politicizing everything. I'm so like, you can't even be civil anymore. Everything's politics.
Yeah, we want to do a podcast for everybody.
Oh, God.
I'm a newsman now. I'm trying to be part of the conversation.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We got a Patreon.
You already talked about that extensively.
We got another podcast.
Ghostfacers, a Supernatural rewatch. We're going through every single episode of the CW Supernatural. We just finished season 8 of
Holy
15.
You know what that means.
Season 9 is next.
And Kyle Clark's coming on.
That's right. Kyle Clark comes on. He only has ever watched the first episode of every season of
It's one
Supernatural.
of my favorite things we've ever done.
But yeah, go check that show out. We talk about real world monster lore, behind the scenes stuff about the show. It's a great time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and hey, are you in the Toronto area?
Oh, yeah.
Come on out to Toronto Comic Con March 15th to 17th. We will be there. We're doing live shows again. So yeah, come say hi. Come see us in TO in the 6.
Oh, my God. Any other ones?
The Big Smog.
Oh.
I mean, it hasn't been called that in quite some time, but
Yeah. Isn't it the Pig Town or something like that?
Hogtown.
Hogtown. That's it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're going to.
I mean, it will be when we're there.
Not because of our dicks, but
No,
because the way
oink
we eat.
oink. I mean,
I'll try not to drink so much this time.
yeah, I'd love to see you try. You're gonna socialize and end up doing like 50 shots with a bartender.
I made friends. Can't help it. I'm charming.
Well, I mean,
Charming enough to get drinks. And then where that goes. Usually street meat at like 1 a.m.
yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'll be feeding you street meat.
Oh my God.
Adios.
A hot beef injection.
Hot beef and
That's it for this week.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
Heroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.